I'm Luna. Welcome back to Luna. Oh gosh, why did you force me to do this? Today I'm in Hanoi, the beautiful capital city of Vietnam, and this is Hoàn Kiếm Lake, one of the very beautiful lakes here. As you know, I'm a bisexual Vietnamese woman, and English is my second language. So I guess it's safe to say that I'm a minority. Since I started my channel 2 years ago, issues surrounding minority groups have become major issues as Black people, indigenous people, and people of color around the world have begun rising up on a huge scale to fight for our rights and equality. It's kind of scary, to be honest, since we don't know how this struggle will end, but it's also very exciting because so many of us are fighting back against our oppressors. So today in this video, I want to share my thoughts on liberation struggle with all of my comrades out there, especially comrades of color. First, let me talk about my personal experience as a woman of color. We all know that racial discrimination was created by some European shitheads a few hundred years ago. Racism has also been instrumental to the global spread of capitalism. It has been one of the most useful tools to divide the working class and give white people privilege and help them benefit from the work of poor people of color around the world. Nowadays, more and more people recognize that whiteness is a completely bullshit term. If you're a leftist, you probably understand that whiteness is not a race, not a culture, not a skin color. My skin is whiter than a lot of white people. Whiteness is just a system of exclusion that gives a minority group of people power over the majority of the people on earth. If you don't already know that, I'm not here to change your mind today. That will take a whole other video. So I just hope if you don't already know what I'm talking about, you will investigate the concept of whiteness in an open mind. And I will put some links in the description to some videos that talk about this in more depth. Anyway, assuming we are on the same page, let's take a look at my experiences with racism and white supremacy. Even though there's no such thing as race in biology, racism is very real, and racism is still very strong because there are many powerful people who benefit from it. And well, it's hard for them to say no to white privilege, even though they know that it's bad. For instance, a white English teacher here in Vietnam will receive higher salary than a non-white teacher, even though their skill might be the same. White privilege is something that has absorbed so deeply into our society that mostly people benefit from it without recognizing it. And that makes many people arrogant. They think they are smarter than people of color. They think they have enough knowledge to tell people like me what to do and criticize us if we don't 100% validate their beliefs. Since I started my channel, nearly every day I receive comments like,
I can't watch your videos because your English is terrible. I can't stand your accent. You're so bad at English.
I also get comments on my appearance with people saying horrible things about me, mocking me for being Asian or Vietnamese, making terrible references to prostitutes in American Vietnam War movies, instead of engaging with the ideas of sharing. So you see, many white people refuse to listen to me because I have an accent, because I am a woman of color, and no matter how hard I try to communicate with them in their own language, they will never appreciate my effort. I would never have to deal with the accent problem if I was born in an English-speaking country and spoke perfect English. Some people, somehow, manage to think that having an accent is equal to stupidity. Instead of respecting my effort on learning the second language, they mock me if I don't speak their language perfectly. That is racism that I have to deal with every day. Alright, now let's talk about white leftists. I know that there are many good white leftists out there who are legitimately trying to fight against white supremacism, such as my partner EJ who runs the channel Non-Compete, Maxi, Red Bear of Soft Boy Social Club, Skylar Zabo, and many others. But there are also many shitty white leftists who think they know the best, who think they are smarter than everyone else, and who especially seem to look down on leftist people of color. They love telling us what to do, they love talking shit about us and laughing at us. As you know, Vietnam is Marxist-Leninist nation. We had our successful communist revolution 75 years ago, but those shitty white leftists still mock and laugh at Vietnam for not passing their purity test without bothering to learn anything about our history from anything but biased anti-communist American and European sources. I have to admit, it's both very funny and annoying seeing a bunch of white leftists from capitalist countries, which have obviously never had a successful communist revolution, talk shit about a nation which overthrew the Japanese, French, and American empires just a few decades ago. So, my dear comrades of color, to deal with those people, there are two things that we need to remember. First, we have to stand up and tell them to shut the fuck up. Don't fucking tell us what to do, okay? We appreciate your good faith arguments, advice, and ideas, and we put them under our consideration. But if you just want to argue with us in bad faith, then shut the fuck up. Don't be afraid to tell white supremacists to shut the fuck up when they talk down to you. If they don't respect you, then why should you respect them? We don't have to play the games on their own terms. It's okay to stand up for yourself and ignore people who refuse to deal with you in good faith. Second, my dear comrades of color out there, I know reality is very difficult for you, but you have to have hope and you have to act, even when it seems impossible to win. We all have to keep fighting in solidarity for a better future. We all have to educate and organize ourselves. Don't let those white leftists tell you what to do. Remember, the job of a revolutionary is to look at the material conditions of society, then to make a plan on how to bring about racial change, then to put that plan into action. The plan has to be based on our understanding of material conditions. Only you know what is the best for your society. Only you know which way is the right way to free your nation from capitalism, imperialism, and fascism. Ho Chi Minh said, action without ideology is blind action. Ideology without action is dogmatism. We, comrades of color, first have to have an ideological foundation which is suitable with the material conditions of our specific community. Then we have to build plans and strategies based on that ideology. We must research, read, listen, and take advice from others, including white people, since white people make contributions and have a good idea just like every other human being. We are the only ones who will save our own cultures. We have to be the ones who decide our plans and strategies to form a successful revolution. Depending on where you live, that might mean different things for you than it does to me. If you are a minority in the USA or some other white-dominated nation, you will have to make decisions and form alliances in ways I don't have to worry about being a Vietnamese person in modern-day Vietnam. Again, it depends on your material conditions. Analyze them very carefully as you make a plan and decide on who you're going to work with and how you're going to push forward. Oh, there's one more thing I need to say to my comrades of colors. Stop being pessimistic and negative all the time. Get your ass up and do something to help the movement. This world is already fucked up enough, and we already know that things are bad. Complaining about it just to complain might feel good sometimes, but it's not productive unless it leads to solutions. Riverless people might have the luxury of being doomers and circling down the drain on despair, but we do not. We are facing extinction. We need people who still believe in a better future and dare to fight for it. As Fred Hampton said, before we can win, we have to believe that we can win. We don't need any more whiners who just complain all day and do nothing to help. And don't get me wrong, I know there are people with disabilities who have extenuating circumstances, which keep them from being able to fight directly. That just means that those of us who can fight need to fight even harder to help those comrades who aren't able to join us in action. So if you can't do more, then please understand that I'm not talking to you. But if you know you can do more, then you know that I'm talking to you. Maybe there's not much you can do, and that's okay, but you should still try to do something. Ho Chi Minh once said, if you're trying, do something small based on your ability. There are two important points in this quote. First, even a child can do something to fucking help. Second, you don't need to pressure yourself on trying to do big things. Just start from small things first, based on your own ability. There are many ways for you to take part in the movement. You can do easy things such as educate yourself, read more theory, learn more skills, talk to other comrades, exchange knowledge. You can also do mutual aid such as bring food and medicine to poor people. If you know how to fight or use any kinds of weapons, teach your comrades to do that too. Or maybe consider being a YouTuber like me to try to reach as many people as possible. Recently, many videos on my channel got translated into many other languages. And you know what? That is a very revolutionary action. You are bringing knowledge and solidarity from the other side of the world to your comrades at home. I am a bilingual myself, and I know how hard it is to translate a video or a book into another language. I really appreciate what you have been doing. I am sending my big thanks to all of you who spend your priceless time translating my videos into your languages. It's really sad that YouTube got rid of the community translation feature. That is a major blow to our community, and I hope that PeerTube will have a community translation feature soon so we can move our international community off of this capitalist hell of a platform once and for all in the near future. Oh, there's still one last thing that I want to talk about. It's the infighting between leftists. I am so fucking tired of this. Dear anarchists and Marxist-Leninists, can we just stop talking shit about each other? Our real enemy is capitalism and fascism, not other leftists. Please don't waste your time on each other. I've seen toxic Marxists argue in bad faith with anarchists, calling them anarchists. I've also seen toxic anarchists calling us tanky. God damn it, stop being fucking children. Grow the fuck up, people. Some of you really look like babies the way you turn political discourse into a clown show, where it seems like the most important thing is beating each other over the head instead of building a real revolution. You don't have to like each other. You don't even have to work together. But please just look at your priorities. We have a fascist taking over the most powerful nation on earth right now. Let's try to be productive. As I said in my series about dialectical materialism, each country, each society will have different material conditions. And the ideology, the strategies and plans we have to be decided based on those conditions. Just because I am a Marxist-Leninist doesn't mean I disagree with all anarchists about everything. In fact, I support them as much as I can. I am a Vietnamese, born and living in Vietnam. I am not telling you, comrades in the USA or Brazil or Philippines, what to do, because obviously I don't know what the fuck is going on over there as much as you do. I just offer you our knowledge and experience for you to study. You can choose to follow it or not. So if my comrades in the USA choose anarchist revolution, good for them. They have 100% of my support. And all Marxist-Leninists from all over the world should also support their movement too. You can give them advice or warnings or engage in good faith discourse. Of course, I do that too, but if you want to argue with them in bad faith, I beg you to shut the fuck up, okay? If our comrades in Brazil and the Philippines choose Marxist-Leninist revolution, good. I hope they will succeed too. And all the toxic anarchists from other countries who want to spit on their movement, please also shut the fuck up. You can't say anything good, don't say anything. Build your own revolution movement and shut the fuck up. Anarchists and Marxists might have had a bloody history with each other, but it should be a lesson for all of us in the future. Learn from the mistakes and get better. Our enemy is already too powerful, and you're even waste your time on fighting each other? Don't you know that right-wingers and fascists are fucking laughing at our face right now? I know most of you think leftist unity is impossible. There are important reasons for you to have your ideological convictions, and I respect that. Again, you don't have to work with people you don't trust. But there is such a thing as tactical unity and diversity of tactics. Please show some solidarity to your comrades as much as possible. Stop being shithead leftists. If I see a toxic Marxist-Leninist, I will call them out, try to talk to them in good faith. If they still refuse to change, I will stop wasting my time on them, block them or hide them from my channel, and move on to more productive things. I hope you will do the same. All I want to say is that we, the people who oppose capitalism and racism and oppression, have to unify with each other, support each other, help each other as much as possible, because right now we are in grave danger. If we don't get our shit together very soon, then millions of us are going to die under fascist genocide, climate destruction, and capitalist neglect. Alright, that's all I want to say to you for now. Thank you for watching and see you next week, and don't be a shithead, okay?